What's going on, people? Welcome back to another opposition preview. For this one, I'm joined by Ryan, a Brighton fan. We finally
Brighton fan on
managed
the podcast, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Podcast.
We managed to find one that's not scared to talk about Brighton versus Palace. We'll be looking ahead to the game on Monday night. As always, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Ryan, as you're the first ever Brighton fan on Back of the Nest, let's talk about one thing straight away. Why are you so obsessed with Wilfried Zaha? Explain it to me. Is it because he's just too good for you guys, or what? What is it? What is it that you guys are onto Zaha every time?
Do you know what? If I'm being completely honest with you, I think no Brighton fan is going to doubt quality of Zaha. No one's going to doubt that at all. I don't think, if you see a Brighton fan say that Zaha's not good enough, they're lying. I mean, let's be honest, right? I think the hatred just comes from I think it's just because he's the main Palace man. Dunk's the main Brighton boy, so it's there's always going to be you lot hate Dunk, we hate Zaha in turn. So it's just one of those. But I think with Zaha, to be honest with you, it's hard to hate Zaha nowadays. All the stuff he does off the pitch, the community stuff, the charity stuff, etc. I've got to admit, I don't hate Zaha anymore, particularly as a person. Maybe on the pitch when I go to Celeste on Monday night, I'll probably
vlog that on Monday night. Let's see if you don't hate Zaha, because I'm pretty sure you'll be. Let's see if you keep the same energy on Monday night. Yeah. I know you're trying to be all nice here, trying to say I don't hate Zaha anymore, but we'll see that on Monday night when we actually stay with words. Exactly. But talking about, let's go to the football. Enough of Zaha chat. Talking about this season, you know what? I miss you guys under Chris Hughton. It's he's available. I wouldn't mind if you went back to you guys, because how you started this season, and even looking at last season and seeing Graham Potter, as much as it hurts me for me to admit, I think he is a quality manager. You're fourth in the league right now. I know you've had some easy fixtures and some dodgy decisions on the weekend against Leicester.
Here and there,
yeah, you can admit that as well. But you know what? You're playing good football. You credit off to you guys. You're playing good football. Did you expect this start?
Mate, do you know what? Because everyone always says, Brighton have had an easy start, and that's the thing that everyone's going to say now. And obviously, to a level, it isn't a kind start, but at the same time, you look at last year, we struggled against the lesser opposition, right? We would struggle against, I think we lost to Sheffield United away, we lost to West Brom away, and we drew with both of them at home. So, those sort of games, we were always struggling to pick up points, whereas this season, we were actually finishing who should be below us, right? So we're finishing off these teams, and I think Watford was really comfortable, we were looking really strong. Whereas last season we were only picking up points against the better teams, and obviously the biggest team in the world in Leeds. So, those sort of teams we were picking up the points against. But then against the lesser sides we were struggling. So I think this season it's nice to see us being able to grind it out a little bit more rather than playing the always expansive football, if you know what I mean. So I don't think it's too much of a shock. No.
Okay. Are you worried about Graham Potter potentially leaving for a bigger club? We've seen in the past he's been linked with big clubs, but of course he's still staying at Brighton. And let's say you do have a good season. Personally, I don't think you guys will finish top four, and I think majority of the Brighton fans will agree as well. Yeah. But you should be still top half of the table if you're going to have a good season. So let's say you do finish top half of the table, and maybe Arsenal are interested. We all know how Arsenal are doing right now.
Yeah.
Or another big club. Are you worried that maybe Potter says, you know what, I've done what I can here, and he'll move on?
I mean, Potter rejected Tottenham only in the summer, so it's not like we've going to struggle to hold on to him in that sense. I think it's when say a big four comes in, the top four teams in the league. I think that's when you start to worry. But at the moment, I don't think that's even going to happen. Obviously, there's Pep Guardiola, there's Jurgen Klopp, there's Thomas Tuchel. These managers are in a league of their own at the moment. So Graham Potter's not going to be getting a sniff in with those sort of clubs at the moment. But obviously, in the future, if he continues in the way he has here, and these cutthroat top four clubs do get rid of and want him, then that will be the time we worry. But I think if it's not a Champions League thing, I don't think he will go, because as I say, he's already rejected Spurs, and that is a fact. Spurs fans won't accept it, but it's true. But
they're just in denial.
I think the whole club's in denial, to be honest.
Exactly. That's exactly.
But no, I don't think he'd leave unless it was like a big club,
But you did mention something about Graham Potter potentially. This is how I imagine Brighton under Potter is a pressing team, always trying to be on the front foot of games. Has that changed this season? It seemed like you just previously in the previous question, it seemed like you might have tweaked it a bit, maybe, you know, a bit more, not defensive, but a bit more cautious in your approach.
It's more like it's more adaptable, I'd say. I think it's the right word. Like last year we'd play only one way and it would be expansive, free flowing football. But as we saw last year, we struggled with a lot of the, as I say, lesser sides who would be more conventional, more just back four, chucking it in the box, headers, you know, that sort of thing we struggled against. I still think we struggled with that against Leicester and we got away with it big time. So that's probably something we're gonna have to look at. But I think in general we've shown that we've got more of a plan B now, whereas it's not just we can only go one way and that's it. It's more like, you know, if it comes up against it, obviously I mentioned against Watford, it was probably one of the most easy games I've seen us play in the Premier League. I didn't do anything. We just passed it around them. But against Leicester, it was backs against the wall. I think we've got Duncan Duffy playing in that too now, rather than Dunk playing all like expansive. It's literally header it, clear it, that's it. So, you know, sometimes it's not as fun to watch, but at the same time, it proves that we can be adaptable, which I think is important, you know?
Yeah, so talking about this game, how do you think he will approach the Palace one? Is it going to be plan A or plan B? You're playing at Selhurst. I'll be honest, the last game that we played you guys, I absolutely loved it because you should have beaten us and we only had that one chance. And the funny thing is, the player that scored, he's not even in the Palace squad anymore. He's not even on the bench.
Mateta,
Mateta, yeah. He's not even on the bench anymore for Palace. So he just came and done his thing against Brighton and he just left. But exactly, he just left. But what do you think? Do you think we've changed as well? I'm going to ask you about that. But in this game, Graham Potter, plan A or plan B? Do you think you'll be more free-flowing football or would you be a bit more cautious?
I mean, if I could tell you that, I'd be manager, right? But I don't know because it's going to be hard.
Your Potter?
If it was me, obviously I don't really know Vieira. It's all new with Palace, so I've got to be honest. Like you've made some class signings. I'm not even gonna lie. Your summer's been ridiculous. Like some of the signings you're making, I really wanted us to get them. In the likes of Conor Gallagher, Edouard, etc. So I'm not even gonna deny that. So it's just down to Vieira now. I don't know his tactics. I saw when he was in America, he struggled with having like a set philosophy was like a big problem over there. So maybe he's come over with more clear. I guess you would know more than I would. But I don't know, with Potter, I reckon we will go and probably try and dominate. And that's what we did. We did try to do at Leicester. And we, you know, at times we did play it around. And that's pretty much how we scored our second goal, really. It was just a bit of a nice little ball forward. And then obviously Welbeck with the header from the cross. But I don't know. I think it'll be, we go for it at the beginning. If you do hit us early, it's a bit like, okay, maybe we need to strengthen up a little bit. But I don't know. We'll see because it's Graham Potter and he's on a mind of his own, that's for sure.
Yeah. Are you worried about, like, this might be a dumb question asking a Brighton fan, but are you worried about Palace this season? Maybe the way that you talked about Vieira just a second ago, it sounded like you heard about what happened in America. Maybe, you know, that might be in the back of your mind. Are you worried about, you know, Palace actually being successful under Vieira, or do you think that realistically you don't see anything happening? Be honest with me, it's fine. You know, we're having a nice healthy conversation here.
on a genuine level, I have no idea what to expect from him because all I can say is what I've read online. Like he struggled in America, he struggled with a philosophy is what I read. So obviously that was a bit like, okay, hopefully that means they'll flop. But then when I go see the signings you've made, I've got to admit that is a bit worrying. That was quite scary. And when I saw you take apart Tottenham, I was like, and I remember I saw Edouard score 2 shots, 2 goals, and I was just like, oh, for God's sake. Like, we could have had this guy. He's been waiting at Celtic the whole time. There's £15 million on the table. That's it. Pay the money. He's ours. But obviously he went to you boys. I think that, yeah, that's my biggest worry, the fact that the quality and depth with Palace genuinely is quite scary now. I think Conor Gallagher's a class player. I like him a lot. I liked him in his at West Brom last year as well. But I think for us, like, it's always like a cup final. I think like it could literally go in either way. Like you saw us last season, we literally dominated you, 30 odd shots. Like it was just absolutely ridiculous. 75% possession both times.
It makes it better. That's all part of the strategy.
Yeah,
it makes it all better. Yeah, exactly. It makes it all better. The fact that you guys dominated us and the fact that we beat you with like 2 shots on target, that's what it's all about. It just
Mate, wasn't it 2 touches in our box and you scored?
2
touches,
something like that. That's the amazing thing about
ridiculous. But I don't know, mate. We'll see. I mean, I am going on Monday. It will be interesting. Like as I say, with with Palace, it's like a cup final. It can literally go either way. I think it'll just be one goal in it again. It's not going to be a matter of, either of us wiping the floor with each other. I don't think. I think we're both strong enough to deal with that now. Like, obviously, Anderson's a good centre back, and Gueye, I think you say his name. He looks pretty good. So yeah, you guys have got a decent side. So it'll be, I reckon, the highest quality matchup between us in ever, to be honest.
Exactly. It's going to be better than Roy Hodgson versus Graham Potter. I'll tell you that. I'm actually looking forward to it again. Before, I wasn't looking forward to it for the reasons that you just said. You absolutely dominated us. And in this game, I think majority of the Palace fans will agree with me in saying that, you know what, Palace are going to bring it to Brighton rather than just sit back against Brighton. And we treated you guys like a top 6 side at times. And it was like, what's going on? We're facing Brighton and you guys are facing us. We should both of us should be going at each other. So looking at some of the players this season for you guys, who stood out the most? For me, when I was looking at the last game against Leicester, Cucurella, he seemed like he was doing very good. Are there any other players that we should watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, Cucurella was levels that day. I'm not going to lie. Like when he came in, it was like you could tell he's got it about him. He's coming from Getafe. He was at the Barcelona academy. He had that class about him. So hopefully that can be something we see more consistently. But as well, we've had Trossard's been really strong, I think, this season. He started well. He's always been the inconsistent one. I think most Brighton fans will tell you that. As I say, he's had 5 goals in the last couple of seasons, but you want to see him more consistently, and this season he has been doing that. He's been going more central than on the left, which is quite nice, I think. So, he's got a bit of skill about him. His ball carrying is quite nice. So hopefully this season, we see a bit more of him, a bit more consistently, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and then also there's one player that I'm worried about as well, Morpay. Let's just say he's the equivalent of, what Zaha is to you guys, to me personally. I don't know about Palace fans, but I know that if he scores a goal, he's going to be running around the stadium. I can't even say the word out here, but it's going to be a very annoying guy. But you got some, 2-3 decent players there that we need to watch out for. But on Palace's end, apart from Zaha, you mentioned Conor Gallagher. Is that the main player that you're worried about?
I think Gallagher's going to be a good one against Bissouma. That'll be a nice little battle because obviously Bissouma's been just... I don't even know how we've kept hold of him, to be honest with you. He should be playing a lot higher than us at the moment, to be honest. But him against Bissouma is going to be a nice little tussle. But no, I think Edouard, I think, is a worry because obviously we were linked with him the whole way through the summer relentlessly. It was Brighton have made a bid, Brighton haven't made a bid, and whether it's true or not, I still have no idea. But he's gonna. It's just written in the stars, isn't it, for either a Wilfried Zaha to score or Odsonne Edouard. So
or both.
Or both. Hopefully, we've got our little wind-up merchant Neil as well. So hopefully, we've got a bit of a fiery one. I think that's definitely how it's going to be on Monday. It's going to be a lot of flames, that's for sure.
Well, look, I'll take that. I'll take Odsonne Edouard and Wilf scoring against Morpay. I'll take a 2-1 win. How do you see this one going in terms of score prediction?
Score predictions. Do you know what? As I said, I think it's going to be 1 goal in it. I think you'll probably score. So I'm going to go 2-1 because I need to back the boys.
Okay. I thought you said 2-1 Palace. I was like, that's great.
What I come on a Palace thing and say that they're going to win. Obviously, I want to win, but I don't know. I hate predicting Palace games because it really can go either way. And obviously, it's going to get clipped up that I've said 2-1, and everyone's just going to be like, right, yeah. But, bring it on. Let's get Neil celebrating, doing some sort of stupid celebration like the eagle in front of your stands. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, let's see if it makes it all the way around the stadium. But Ryan, look, I enjoyed talking to you about. It's the first ever Brighton fan that we've had, and it's we've been civil. We've been as civil as we can possibly be. We've had a bit of digs here and there. But Ryan, where can they find you, Palace fans? After we beat you 2-1, where can they find you and send you these clips?
So you can find me on YouTube, just my name, Ryan Adsett, and obviously on Twitter as well. I'm Ryan Adsett. I'm always the one that tries to wind you all up. So I'm sure that there's many of you watching this that have probably blocked me on Twitter anyway. So if you want to unblock me and follow me, please do.
Well, that's it. That's Ryan there. He's given us his perspective on the Brighton game. If there's any Brighton fans watching this, leave down in the comments down below. Let us know how you think this game's going. As always, Palace fans, let us know your score predictions, lineups, and your general thoughts on the game. Thank you to Ryan for joining me on this episode, and thank you to everyone who's listened and watched this, depending on how you're if you're listening or watching it. But anyways, that's it for today, and until next time, up the Palace.